It all started about a year ago with a question. How can I leverage the tools and resources I have access to so I can educate my students for what lies ahead? We've all heard the buzzwords: progressive education, 21st century skills, Web 2.0, project-based learning, and all the others. But what does that look like, and how in the world do you get started? Having no idea, I took a guess, and with the help of a few of my colleagues and the blessing from my boss, we started Engineering Day. Starting in January 2013, one day a week, I would give up my time in the classroom and allow my students to work on a project they might have an interest in. Having recently finished a unit on renewable energy, my first project for them was vertical axis wind turbines. Nearly half of my students eagerly volunteered to work in teams to create these turbines, all the while using various research and engineering practices under the guidance of an industrial designer, Steve Harburger. Their progress was nothing short of amazing, and their end results were shown off at the end of the year on Wind Day in late May. But the other half of the class did not buy into wind energy. I had to find another hook that might pull them in. Enter hydroponics, basically growing plants without soil. A few years earlier on a family trip to Disney World, I saw how Disney used hydroponics to grow an amazing variety of fruits and vegetables. We took that idea and figured out a way to make our own soilless grow tower. Students were researching, drilling, sawing, measuring, and for some of them it was the first time they had ever held a power tool. It didn't take long before I realized that this type of environment was different. When students have a vested interest in something, learning comes naturally. Our failures that year were many, so after a summer off and some discussions, we decided to start in August, and we added some scaffolding to help support the students. We wanted them to be familiar with a few key programs so they could take advantage of the tools we had. We chose Adobe Illustrator and SketchUp to start. They created name badges in Adobe Illustrator and then laser cut them out. Next, they designed a small 3D object with their name on it and used our MakerBot to print them out. Once completed, we moved on to two mini challenges: Move the Marble and Spaghetti Bridge. The marble challenge was to get a marble into a bucket from the greatest distance possible. This project gave us a wealth of information. One fault in particular was our kids focusing on the design and not the objective. In fact, only one group out of 10 made the marble go into the bucket the first time. After some reflection, we challenged them again and saw some creative designs that we would never have thought of, but also saw a renewed focus on their initial objective. Next was the spaghetti bridge, where they were given hot glue and spaghetti and asked to make a bridge that could hold the maximum weight possible while spanning an 18-inch gap. Once again, creativity reigned, but functionality did not. We came up with our first motto of Engineering Day: fail quickly, but learn from it faster. After some reflection and some required research into bridge design, they did it again. Overall, we saw a 40% reduction in bridge weight and a 30% increase in weight supported. They were learning. At this point, we decided to take a risk. What if instead of giving them projects, we would allow them to choose what they wanted to work on? Knowing this would likely be a bit chaotic with 63 students, we figured, why not? We had each person submit a form that answered 4 questions. A. Objective. What do you want to accomplish and why it matters to you? B. Research. What do you need to find out to accomplish your objective? C. The challenges. What challenges are there and how will they be overcome? And finally, D. The product. What is your finished product? What will it look like? Will it be a model, a movie, etc.? Once the projects were approved, the work began. Again, we stressed that failure is not to be feared but is to be welcomed, provided they learn from it. We made every effort to make sure that they had adequate support when they needed it, and enough freedom to move on their own. I'm not going to tell you that it has been easy, because that would be a lie. It's been a struggle not just for me due to the number of projects, but for them because they are working through situations they haven't faced before. On the flip side, I can tell you that we are now 4 months in, and I have over 20 different projects that students cannot wait to come to class and work on. We have groups working on a solar cooker, a remote-controlled airboat with camera, a rabbit hutch for capturing waste and using it to feed plants, a scale to weigh our beehives, a carbon fiber bike seat and carbon fiber golf club shaft, a wooden lacrosse stick, scented crayons from scratch, soap making, and a host of others. My students are eager, interested, curious, and have sorted through problems they assured me were impossible to overcome. We plan on showing off our blood, sweat, and tears at an engineering fair in late May. It's been quite a ride and we're not even close to done. I plan on posting an update later this year to show off their results. My name is Jason Felten and I am an NAIS Teacher of the Future. Thanks for watching.